Hello, Warframe, it's Jaden's Videos, and today I'm going to be discussing the new for 2022 Distortions Unlimited Halloween props and animatronics. Now, Distortions, if you don't know, is one of my absolute, if not my absolute, favorite Halloween prop companies. And Transworld is going on right now, and I don't know if it's still going to be going on by the time I'm recording this, but most likely. Transworld is going on right now, and there's a lot of great new stuff for Halloween 2022, and obviously one of the companies, actually the company that I am most anticipating and the one that I was most excited to see the stuff for is Distortions. Now, Distortions dropped some stuff earlier in the year, and now that Transworld is happening, they've revealed everything that they have to offer for Halloween 2022. And there's some great stuff, and we're gonna jump right in. It's not one of their biggest lineups. I've noticed their lineups have gotten a little bit smaller over the years, but that's fine because their quality, I'm sure, is definitely going up. Distortions is always such a great company, and they never fail to disappoint. So obviously this lineup does not fail to disappoint. First off, we're going to start with the stuff that was released earlier in the year, and then we're going to get to the stuff that was just released. We first have, their first release for this year was the TRex head wall mount. This thing is pretty cool. It's $410, which, knowing Distortions, I don't think that's a bad price. And the detail from the pictures and the videos that they've uploaded of this thing, it's incredible. It's really, really incredible. I think it's really cool to see this. As dinosaurs, I mean, they're not really Halloween, however, they can work for it if you want them to. Like, if you wanted to do a scary dinosaur haunt, I could definitely see it working. Like, it definitely wouldn't feel out of place. They're not classic Halloween, but they can definitely work if you want to and if you can put them in that scenario. Because as Ed Edmonds describes it in his videos of this, dinosaurs are typically one of the first monsters you really learn to fall in love with. Dinosaurs definitely are monsters. They're scary. And I feel like dinosaur haunts can definitely work very well. And this not only is great for that type of thing, but just anyone who might want to collect this type of thing, I think is super cool. There's multiple variants of this prop. There's, let me see the names. There's Jungle Green, there's Desert Red, there's Mountain Gray, and my favorite is the Swamp one because it has bloody teeth, and I think that looks super cool. Definitely, if I were ever to get this thing, I would definitely get that one. I think it's pretty cool. Overall, really cool prop. We also have Jack Widow, which is one that I really like. It's a very unique and different concept, and from the videos, it looks pretty massive. They've, ever since last year, they've been really hitting hard with their pumpkin type stuff, which I'm not complaining because I love pumpkin stuff. Now, this right here is classic Halloween with a twist. It's a spider who is a pumpkin. And he just looks super cool. He's got a flame light in him, so he flickers, or he has a steady on, or he has a pulse, whatever you want to do, just as normal flame lights would go. I think it's really cool that they incorporate these flame lights into their pumpkin props. This is just such a phenomenal looking prop, and I'm pretty sure he has opposable armature too. So I think that's really, really cool that he has that. Next up, we have probably my, I would say, favorite, only because my other favorite I can't afford at the time. So I'm gonna say that this one's my favorite. And he might even top the other one. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, but this is Jack is Back. This is a pumpkin killer guy who's holding a knife, and he's got pumpkin guts on it. As Ed Edmonds said, they wanted to go real classic Halloween with this guy. He's got the black jumpsuit, and so the black and orange goes together perfectly. They said he was inspired a lot off of like Michael Myers and stuff, which I can definitely see. But he's a literal pumpkin guy. Now, something that's really cool about this prop are the guts spilling out of his head and on the knife. Those are real pumpkin guts that they used for that. And they look, well, obvious, I don't think the orange part is, of course, but the actual seeds are real pumpkin seeds, which is super cool. And the guts themselves look so detailed and realistic. It's really incredible. Now, just like Jack Widow, this one also has the flame light in it, so you can adjust that to your desire and everything. Really, really awesome prop. This is one I definitely would want to get. This one is $524. And I don't think I mentioned Jack Widow's price. That is $458. Now, we are moving on to the ones that have just now been revealed at Transworld and are really taking the haunt community and Halloween community by storm. People are loving these ones, and I love them too. This one in particular, I am huge on. This is Mutant. What else is there to say other than that this is incredible? It's got very sci-fi laboratory vibes, which I love. But he thrashes around so realistically, obviously. Here's one thing I love about Distortions, is even, I think their props are great for animatronics and static props if you want to use them as that. I get a lot of Distortion static props, as I think they're great just background props for sure. But even the animatronic ones are incredible. And with a guy like Mutant here, he's so incredibly cool. His movement, and then he sprays out mist. What a fantastic animatronic. If I had the money for him right now, I'd get him. He's a couple thousand, so he's on the pricier side, but I completely understand that pricing because he's just super cool. He's got some great audio too, like the sci-fi like beeping sounds and stuff. He's a fantastic animatronic. I really like him. Next up is Creep, which this is one that a lot of people really like. Next up is Creep, which is one that a lot of people really like, but it's just not getting me. I like clowns, don't get me wrong, but I would say I like the more vintage style clowns, which I do like other clowns too, but this just isn't my type of prop, I guess. I will admit the sculpting on this guy is incredible, absolutely fantastic prop. Objectively, I think really my opinion on this one just comes down to it not being my personal taste. But he is pretty cool. I do love his sculpt. I love his smile. And he's around $454 or so, or you can go the cheaper route, which is like $380, I'm pretty sure. Well, that's the sale price. They will go up a little bit, but usually they go on sale right when they introduce new ones. So if you do want to get, all the others I previously mentioned are not on a sale price, but the ones that were just dropped like a couple days ago are currently on a sale price because they are new. So if you want them, I would suggest getting them now. You also have Little Creep, which is a littler version. Now he's got like some mohawk type of thing. I don't think he's bad at all. He's a great looking prop. Just not something I would personally get. These two Creep characters, or I should say three, as the next one I'm about to move on to, they're just not my personal thing I would go towards. But that is not to say that they're bad at all. I definitely think they're still fantastically sculpted and everything. Next up, this is Creepshow. So they're really going hard with these two characters here. We have Creepshow, where it's both of them. This one's in the $1,000 range. This is a pricier one. It's the normal Creep holding up the Little Creep, and the Little Creep kind of moves around. It's kind of cool how he holds him. He holds him like he's a trapeze artist, and he kind of moves around a little bit. And then the big Creep jumps out like it's unexpected for sure. Again, I think it's a great prop. It's a great jump scare and everything. Like I said, it's just not. I just don't really care for them too much in my personal opinion, just because they're not my type of thing. But for those who like them, I think they are definitely a good clown prop. One thing I do like about Creepshow that I like more than Creep and Little Creep, I like how they're in straitjackets. I think that looks really cool. If it was a straitjacket version of the other ones, I probably would like it a lot more instead of just the black jumpsuit. But Distortions also does custom things, so I'm pretty sure you can do that. I don't know. They kind of have different limits on things depending in price ranges, but I'm pretty sure you probably could ask them to put a straitjacket on those. Last but not least is my favorite, besides Jack is Back, but this is my favorite, and it is Yeti. This is another couple $1,000 one, but so it's not what I'm gonna get this year, as I if I saved up for it I could, but it's not one that I really need to prioritize for this year, so it's not one that I'm gonna get this year. However, it's one that I definitely am likely to purchase someday, just because it is so cool. Even though it's a couple $1,000, it might be one of the coolest Distortions props I've seen. It's a Yeti, and that's something we never see. Again, with the dinosaur thing, it's not classic Halloween, but it definitely works for Halloween if you have a haunt that way. Halloween Horror Nights a couple years back did a Yeti haunt, and I wasn't able to go in that one, but I've seen videos and it looks super cool. I really like Yetis and the whole Bigfoot thing in general, but in particular, I'd say I like Yeti's best. And to see a Yeti animatronic is very seldom seen, and it's very cool. And out of all the companies that could have done it, I think Distortions is the great one to do it. Now, if there was a static version that was cheaper, that would be great. So if I'm sure Distortions is watching this, if you can make it a static version of this prop, that would be so awesome. Because I think the animation on it is great and everything, but I would be happy to settle for a static one as well, just because it looks so good. And the blood detail on it is great. It is top tier Halloween animatronic prop, whatever you want to call it. It is top tier, and I love it. And I didn't even really talk about the animation much. It's crazy cool, very realistic thrashing and very creepy. I would imagine walking through a haunt, seeing this in the dark would be rather terrifying, and I really like it. They always come up with such great ideas that I really wish the other Halloween companies would latch on to, like Spirit Halloween and Home Depot and all of these other places that are selling Halloween things and doing a very good job, of course. But Distortions always seems to have the most unique ideas out of all of these different companies. And I would like I think it's one reason that Distortions is so great is because they're always pumping out such great stuff. I would really like I think, and this is just going on a little tangent here, but Spirit has been great these past few years. I think these past few years have been some of Spirit's best. They've really been going strong with very unique ideas and stuff. But I would definitely like for Spirit and all these other companies to take some notes from Distortions, which is basically the king of the Halloween industry, and really make some of the ideas that Distortions and stuff makes, these really unique characters that have a lot of character and everything to them, and really bring those to us as well. But I digress. Distortions, absolutely fantastic for 2022. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting any of them this year, simply because none of them are a priority of mine this year. However, ones like Jack is Back in particular, but also I really like Jack Widow, but I say Jack is Back is probably the one I have my eye on the most. I don't know if I'm going to get him this year, but he's definitely one that I want to purchase someday. Luckily, the Distortions stuff usually stays on the website for a long time after they've made them, like years and years and years later, which is great. So I don't have to fret about if I don't get it this year, then I won't be able to get it. I'm sure I'll get it eventually. I don't know if I'll get it this year though, but I really want to, because Jack is Back is great. The Yeti one I'm obviously not going to get this year, but one of these days I'm going to get that Yeti prop. He is too cool to pass up. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video of the Distortion stuff. Let me know if you want me to cover some of the more props and animatronics that were revealed at Transworld. I was really wanting to go to Transworld this year, but things fell through and I wasn't able to. Next year, I might be heading to Transworld though, which will be pretty exciting. But there's just so much stuff that gets revealed at Transworld that I don't want to cover the event as a whole, because that video would be like 2 hours long to talk about all of the crazy cool stuff revealed at Transworld. But let me know in the comments below what company you want me to talk about that has shown stuff at Transworld, because I do want to talk more about this stuff and all of the cool things that have been revealed recently. I'm just not really sure which companies to hone in on specifically. So if you guys let me know in the comments below which companies you want me to give my opinions on their new products, let me know, and keep howling at the moon, my werewolves.